Okay, in this video, we are going to make a tire. Specifically, we're going to make something circular that's got a circular pattern on the outside. Yours may end up looking a lot like this, or it may not. It doesn't really matter, as long as we can have a repeating pattern on the outside of our cylinder. So we're going to start a new sketch in a new part file. Doesn't matter the plane. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a cross section of our tire, and then we're going to revolve it around a middle point. So I'm going to have a somewhat flat part to my tire, and then I'm going to make a slight arc to it as well. Something that looks like this. The actual dimensions don't really matter. And then we're going to use our offset button and make this a little bit bigger. The offset tool is right in the center. And then we're going to use our line tool and just close the loop for this so that it is a solid. So now what I'd like to do is we're going to mirror this along this plane. Apply, and done. So now I have the outline of my tire, and the center line, I don't need that one anymore, so I'm just going to click on it and then hit delete. Alright, so now we have a couple options. I'm going to add one more line along our x-axis here, and if you want to, if you right click and hit construction, makes it a construction line, which will make it not visible later on. So I'm going to finish the sketch. I'm going to revolve. It's already selected this profile. I just need to tell it the axis. So I could select this axis and revolve it around. Another option is you could hit revolve. It's already got the profile. And then for the axis, you could just find the correct axis down here. You'd have to know which one, so it looks like it's the x-axis, and that does the same thing. So if you forgot to put in your line down here, you could just click on the x-axis here. So we click OK. And now what I'd like to do, now that I've got my tire, I'd like to add a tread to my tire. So we are going to start another sketch, but before we do that, we need a work plane. So we are going to do a offset work plane from, let's see, from this one. So I clicked on plane, offset from plane. I'm going to offset it from the XY plane. So I just click on the XY plane, and then I can either type in a number or drag it out. So you can see right there I'm going through the tire still, so I want to be above the tire, and click OK. So now I'm going to start a new sketch on this work plane, and this is where I'm going to make my tread. I'm going to make just a simple design. So I'm going to start on the outside of the tire, and I'm going to go through here, make a little arc. I'm going to use my offset tool again, go from here to here, and then I'm going to take my line tool and just finish this edge, and I'm going to take my arc tool and finish this edge, and then I'm just going to right click and close loop and make sure that this is completely enclosed. And it might yell at me, but I think we're okay. So we're going to go ahead and hit finish, and let's just double check and make sure that I can extrude this, and I can. So we're going to go the other direction, and I don't want this to be an outward tread. I want it to be a cutout, and the depth, as long as it goes through the tire, then we're okay. So I'm just going to click OK, and I've got my tire tread. So now that I've got one tread, I'm going to use the circular pattern. I'm going to select my feature, and then I'm going to select the axis that I want to rotate it around, and then I'm going to add a lot more. Let's do like 20. 20 looks good. And then I'm going to click OK. One side of the tire doesn't quite do it, so I'm going to find my mirror function, and I'm going to select the features that I want to mirror, and then the plane that I want to mirror down, which would be my YZ plane in my case. So I'm going to click that one, click OK, and there is my tire tread. Okay, so we're going to go back and let's see. We're going to right click on circular pattern, and we're going to find suppress feature. So we're going to go ahead and suppress that feature, and we'll see most of it disappears for now. We can turn that back on just by right clicking on it and then click unsuppress, and it should come back. But for right now, we're going to suppress it. Let's go ahead and make this work plane not visible. We don't need to see it anymore. What I would like to do is I would like to add another part to that original sketch that I made back here, but it's hard to see because we've got the tire in the way. So what I can do is I can actually split this apart so I can see the inside. So I'm going to hit split. I'm going to find the trim solid. The split tool is asking me what axis, what plane do you want to split this on. So for me, it's the XY plane. I want to cut this in half vertically. And then this red arrow is going to tell me which way it's going to go. So I could split this half, or I could remove and flip it around the other way and split this half. So let's go ahead and remove that half, and we'll hit apply, and now I can see the interior. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and find that original sketch I made. Let's see. Here we go, sketch 1. So I'm going to edit sketch 1, and I am going to go to offset, and I'm going to, nope, I don't want that. I'm just going to take a tool, let's go with the line tool again, and we're going to kind of copy the bottom of this if we can. It doesn't need to be the exact same, just kind of close. And then we're going to go to my arc tool and go from here to about here. About the same arc, doesn't have to be exact. And then I'm going to go to my line tool, and we're going to connect the dots. And then just same as before, we're going to mirror this. So I'm going to select this. I don't need that one. Let's try that again. Let's do mirror and go here, here, and there. And then we're going to mirror it down this line. Click apply. And then done. And same as before, we don't need that center line anymore, so let's get rid of it. And then we're going to click finish sketch. So you'll notice I can't see it anymore. So I'm going to go find that sketch, sketch 1, right click on it, share sketch. Now it becomes visible. And I'm going to revolve it just like I did before. So I got to find just that one piece, and there we go. And then I need an axis, so I can either click on that, or I could find the correct axis over here. So I'm going to click there, and there we go. I got a solid inside, so I'm going to go ahead and click OK. My split, I can either delete this feature because I'm done with it, or you can just suppress it in case you want to come back to it later. I'm just going to go ahead and delete it, and then I'm going to unsuppress this feature, and there we go. So now I've got not only a tire, but I also have my tread, and it's not all the way through. So go ahead, and once you get your tire tread, you're going to take a screenshot and submit your tire.